So many of us as business owners want accountability from our team, and we wonder why we live in this culture where people have just become less accountable, or we certainly think they have. But we're not necessarily that accountable ourselves. I'm Suzanne Rath, and you're listening to Endures for your daily dose of endurance, leadership, and life lessons. So if you're looking at the video, you'll see that, well, you won't know this, but I'll tell you, I'm in the beautiful Atherton Tablelands. I'm walking in the bush close to where I'm staying. I'm up here for a yoga retreat on the weekend. And I've been having some thoughts on my book that I'm writing on accountability and a new paradigm for accountability, which is specifically for business owners, established businesses that have teams, 10 or more people, often service business owners who are just despairing at the lack of accountability in modern society. I have been there. I still find myself there sometimes. I think of myself as a very accountable person. And then today I thought to myself, you know what? Sometimes we're not that accountable as owners. And let me tell you how. So first of all, if we think about individual accountability, so how accountable we are to ourselves. So a lot of us will start our businesses being super accountable and, hustling away and doing all the things. And we think of that as accountability. But from a business perspective, sometimes that individual accountability kind of falls a little bit by the wayside when we become established or we get bigger or we're scaling or there's a big new project. Hear me out. A couple of things I think that are indicators that our individual accountability is waning in our business or in our leadership. Number one, are we still moving towards what our big vision was? So you will have heard the story before in the podcast about my big vision with my clinical business. And there's been times in my clinical business where I've thought to myself, well, am I still chasing that vision? Or maybe I've achieved that original vision and it needs to change. Or, am I just chasing other people's goals? And I think a really good question to ask ourselves when we think about if we're being accountable individually to ourselves, first and foremost, is, am I proud? So am I proud of the things that are happening within my business? And I was at an event the other night with some of my team in my clinical business. One of them was speaking. She was speaking about lymphedema, if you're interested, to a group of health professionals. And she's so passionate about it. And, it's something we facilitated and nurtured, and we're really proud of her. And I thought, you know what? I'm really proud. I'm really proud of these people on my team. I'm really proud that this aligns with what my vision always was for the practice, and that's good. But there have certainly been times looking back that I maybe haven't been so proud, and it's because I've been going forwards too fast, or I've been hiring different professions or different people because I think that it's the next logical step. Or, it'd be great to have XYZ profession here, or this person's approached me and, my ego kind of takes over a bit because I think, oh, let's add that service. And then the integration doesn't work. The person maybe doesn't fit our culture. And when I look back, I maybe couldn't say that I'm 100% proud of that, person or that service or whatever aligning with the vision for the practice. And I think the same question can apply to our lives, right? Are we accountable for the vision we want for our lives and the life that we want from our leadership and our business? So I can give you an example here of something which maybe didn't align with my life. I think it's always important to know what we want our business and our leadership to give our lives. And if that is nice things or great experiences or great opportunities, I think that's really important, right? But it needs to align with our values. So a couple of years ago, I went looking for a new car. And I went into the Lexus dealership and I got caught up. So if you've ever been to a Lexus dealers, I actually had bought 2 cars on this day. I bought 1 car for work. The car I bought for work was a Kia, 4 years old, didn't really care, functional car, still under warranty, would suit my team, that's great, didn't care. So my experience in that dealership versus my experience in the Lexus dealership, you know, they have you, right? You go in, it's not slick salesy, you're treated like somebody important, they've got all the bells and whistles, they will drop you to the airport, you know, they'll invite you to the golf day. I don't even like golf. They'll invite you to the horse racing day. I certainly don't even like horse racing. They will wash your car for you once a month. There's all these little things. And I started to think to myself, oh, you know what, maybe I need to level up, right? Like, I work hard in my business. I deserve this thing. So I put my deposit down on the Lexus, and luckily there's a very long wait list for Lexuses and a lot of those kind of cars. And so while I was waiting for it, I started getting, you know, second thoughts. And I thought, have I just got swept up by the idea that, you know, I need this thing because I think it's the next logical step, because I want the ego of the business ownership or whatever. And the thing is, if you love cars, right, let me preface this. If you love cars and you're going to get in that car every day and you're going to think, oh, this brings me so much joy, then good, get the car, right? For me, cars are a conduit for my bikes, my run gear, my dogs, to get from A to B. That is my value system. We all need to know our own value systems. So I test drove the car, managed to borrow the car for a weekend, which was really lovely of the dealership, although they probably regret this in the end, because I drove it for the weekend. I thought to myself, you know what, this is just a rebadged Toyota RAV4. There is nothing, I'm going to be excited about this car for a couple of weeks when I get it, and then I'm just going to treat it like every other car. I mean, I treat my cars okay, but they're certainly not these pristine, beautiful things, right? I still will, if I need to bring the dog to the vet, the dog will still wind up going to the vet in that car. My dogs are big, they slobber a lot, and yeah, you know, it's not really befitting, I think, with said car. So the car I ended up buying, which I bought last year, was probably $50,000 less, which is a lot of money by any standards. And you know, if I'd really wanted to level up, if the Lexus was that valuable to me, yeah, you know, I could have got it, or I could have taken a loan, or I could have not taken a loan or foregone something else. But $50,000 is even like going to Antarctica, right? It is a lot of races. It's a lot of things that I really, really value. So my question for you is, and there's 4 domains of accountability, so I'm actually going to go through the next 3 on the next 3 days of the podcast, because I am aware that I'm going over my self-imposed time limit. But my question for you would be, if you're in business or leadership, are you genuinely accountable to yourself, or have you lost track of, you know, your vision, your values, your principles, your convictions, your sense of purpose? Do you need to go and re-architect that? Because are you proud of where you are, where you're going? And if not, who do you actually want to be? What do you want that vision to be for your life and for your legacy? And how are you going to get there? Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you tomorrow for more from Endures.